Hello everybody, John12 back here again with another video, and today I bring you another Arrow review. Yes, it's that time of the week again, and today I give you my review for Arrow Season 3, Episode 20, titled The Fallen. Now, of course, if you've not seen tonight's episode, please go check it out, because this review may contain spoilers. Nonetheless, let's get right down into tonight's episode. First off, I need to make this clear. I stated this in my Flash review yesterday, that this episode, hands down, has to be the number one episode I was not looking forward to seeing. Mostly due to the fact that just by the trailers and by all the information we've gotten for the remainder few episodes of this season, that we were going to head towards a huge wave of just straight up fan service. And after completing to watch this entire episode, after seeing the full thing in action, this episode is full-on fan service. Spoilers, of course. Spoilers, I stated this before. Check out the episode because I'm going to just spoil everything. Nonetheless, of course, following the events of last week's episode, Thea has been killed by Ra's al Ghul as a final attempt to make sure that the only way that Oliver can, leave his normal life as the Arrow and continue living his new life, joining the League of Assassins and becoming the heir to the demon, he obviously gives him the choice that has been left on the ground, basically, literally and figuratively, in the beginning of this episode. And all I can really say is that for that specific plot point, if this was actually the only way that could get results, Ra's al Ghul should have done this from, the very beginning. I just feel like there's a whole portion of this season that could have just been erased, and we could have got something a little better, just if you did this earlier. I don't know if that makes any sense, or if anybody feels the same way, but that's just, after seeing it in perspective, that's how I kind of feel like this season could have went tens of different different kind of ways, instead of the way we got it. Nonetheless, back in real time, of course, Thea is pretty much mortally damaged. She is not more than likely going to survive the wounds she's overtaken from the Ra's al Ghul attack sequence, and of course, there's only two options. Either A, she's going to die, or B, I guess, live the remainders of her days as a vegetable. And that's pretty much the general topics and options that Oliver's left in the beginning of this episode. So, first off, Thea being the main reason as to why using the Lazarus Pit. First off, I really would have liked it if they done it to Roy instead. Granted, they had a humongous great opportunity to do that last week with episode Broken Arrow. If you've not seen that episode, spoilers, but I do have a review on it. Go to my channel, check it out. Anyways, in that episode, they open up the topic that a character in Team Arrow, a sidekick character, could end up dying. And they approached that with Roy, but they kind of just left it alone and just made it towards Thea, which I think was not the right choice. I would have preferred it to be a very Roy kind of esque storyline. First off, let's just put it out there. I've stated it time and time again. Arrow Season 3 is Batman Season 3. Don't fucking play around. That's what it fucking is. It's Batman Season 3. You might as well have just took the plunge and just, screw it. You might as well just fucking kill him off, bring him back with a Lazarus Pit, and then he becomes like Arrow's version of Red Hood. Granted, it might have not been the same version, but at least a version nonetheless. And then they did it with Thea, and Thea, I don't know how other people feel about the character Thea, but for me, I don't think I would have ever used the Lazarus Pit for her. As a fan of the show, I definitely would have not done it, but if I was a character of the show, it definitely would have tormented my soul. Bringing it realistic-wise, I definitely would have contemplated the idea. But at the same time, as a comic book fan, I already know the results of the Lazarus Pit. People who go inside the Lazarus Pit, who are brought back using the pit's powers, are obviously mutated in some shape, way, or form, and they're not the same ever again. Classic point, Jason Todd. Jason Todd was killed by the Joker, spoilers, and was brought back via Lazarus Pit, and he was obviously morphed. His mind was changed. He was darker. He wanted revenge over Batman not avenging his death by killing the Joker, and that's what created one of the best of many, many great storylines in the Batman mythos, which is the Under the Red Hood storyline, or Under the Hood story arc, rather. which is amazing story. But with this one, I don't think they executed as well as they were hoping to. Thea coming back, I mean, was inevitable. I mean, like, she was killed, they have the Lazarus Pit, we've already witnessed it in prior episodes. Of course they're gonna use it. Why not? I mean, the second Lazarus Pit is introduced, it's just like the Dragon Balls of the Dragon Ball Z universe. You know, just keep wishing him back. He died, wish him back. Wish him, we just get him. We just get him like it's easy. It's the simplistic story point ever, just by introducing that one item. But I don't think they gave it a lot of depth as much as I would have liked it. I mean, Thea coming back, she really had like this cool kind of introduction as being reborn, but I don't think it came out well. I mean, visually it didn't look great. The Lazarus Pit looked extraordinarily small and didn't look anything how I would have liked to have seen it. Even though I've seen it before on the show, I just don't think it, as being used, it just didn't look amazing. I think that's the best way I can say it. And on top of that, Thea isn't really that morphed mentally or physically or spiritually, for that matter, after the use of the Lazarus Pit. She's pretty much the same person with the exception of a few details. Obviously, she doesn't recall things, and that one attack she had over Oliver didn't really make any sense, especially looking at it in perspective after the events that lead up to the end of this episode. Really didn't make any sense. I mean, if they followed up with that and continued on that plot point where, like, oh shit, she's now a villain, she's gonna kill motherfuckers, she's gonna break Oliver's neck, all that crazy awesomeness, they completely erased that from the second they came back from a commercial. They fucking erased that from memory. But anyways, at the end of the day, all of on top of that, we also have the triangle of triangles, CW cheese, as I like to call it. Oliver, Ray, and Felicity. The relationship twist has come again, and Ray and Felicity are pretty much done after the events of last week's episode. Pretty much, Ray believes that Felicity still loves Oliver, and as much as he loves Felicity, he knows that all he is just an in-betweener. He's not really going to get anywhere with her, and his relationship with her is just inevitably going to end because of her feelings towards Oliver, which makes sense. I mean, they've had this fucking boy-girl crush ever since, day one, so it makes sense that that was going to happen. I just wish they could have made it a little bit more epic, kind of. I don't want to say epic. Epic is the wrong word to use, but there's a word that I want to say that I want to replace with epic, but I can't think of it right now. All I can really say is I just wanted to see something a little bit more out of their conversation together that would lead up to what happens, which of course the biggest teaser from all the trailers we got, which is Oliver and Felicity having sex for the first time, which of course out of context looked bad. In context, still looks stupid. First off, Thea comes back, Lazarus Pit, good. She's back, she's come back to life, everything's great, hunky-dory, fuck okay, awesome. The bad news is, Oliver has to join League. It's inevitable. He can't leave. He can't just leave with the rest of Team Arrow just because she's back. It's a done deal. If he goes back on his word, everything else just falls out of place. Anyways, to try and convince Oliver to stay, Felicity has sex with Oliver. So I guess that was, in context, it makes a little bit more sense, but it still feels way too fan servicey. I mean, I feel like the Arrow writers were just like, oh, the Felicity fans are gonna love this. Me, I'm not an Felicity fan. I'm not really a fan of any kind of CW relationship cheese in and of itself, so for me it was like, okay, well, you just wasted 20 minutes of my time. But anyways, at the end of the day, in context, it makes a little bit more sense, but I still would have done without it. She has sex with him just to make him stay, because she loves him, she wants him to come back so they continue living the rest of their lives as Team Arrow, because, what else are they going to do without Team Arrow? They're pretty much useless without Team Arrow, so whatever. Anyways, that obviously falls out of place, because Oliver decides that it was a noble idea to try and escape using that kind of topic, but it's just not the way things are going to go. So of course we have the saddest moment, I guess, out of Arrow over the course of the last couple episodes, which is the goodbye of Team Arrow, which is, of course, Diggle, Thea, Merlin, and Felicity have to say their goodbyes to Oliver. Oliver has decided to stay and continue to, live his life under the tutelage and teachings of Raish, and of course become the new heir to the demon and what have you, which of course, it is what it is. Once again, more fan service. At the end of the day, it's one of those things that I want to say it was good episode, but I can't really say that because it just wasn't. I out of the court, it's really hard to say because Flash and Arrow haven't really been doing that good over the course of the last couple weeks. I mean, granted, Broken Arrow was a pretty decent episode, even though I would have liked it if they switched the Lazarus Pit storyline with Roy instead of Thea, because the Thea thing feels like it's going to be pointless. But at the end of the day, I guess we're just going to have to see where things go at the end of this series. Of course, Season 3 is still going on. We still have a couple of episodes before the finale. But it's just been a downer. Over the course of this last couple weeks, I mean, Flash has been slagging. Arrow has kind of just, Season 3 has always kind of been whatever. I mean, it's had its ups, but it's had its significant downs over the course of the season, and that's not me trying to bash it. I like Arrow. I'm not trying to sit here and be like, oh, I hate Arrow, and I love pointing out all the inconsistent douchebaggery that goes on with this show, or what have you, and all the Batman ripoffs, even though it is kind of hysterical when I do point it out. It's not like I want to do it, it's just that Arrow Season 2 was so amazing, I was hoping for something as good. And this season kind of hyped up the Ra's al Ghul storyline to an extent where I thought it was going to be better. And it really hasn't proven itself to be better. And I don't know whose fault it is, in particularly as to why Season 3 hasn't been as good as how I personally would have liked it to be, or any of us, because I know I'm not the only one out there. I know a lot of people out there do feel the same, where Arrow Season 3 really hasn't been on par with anything else that's been out there, like their previous seasons, or hell, even The Flash, and not to mention whatever else Marvel has been putting out, whether it be their Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and their amazing new Netflix series, Daredevil. It's just been an interesting topic that I don't like doing, but it's an unfortunate thing that has to happen. But nonetheless, this episode I think was pretty decent. It's not like everything that happened in this episode I disliked. I really am interested, more or less interested, not excited, not hyped, but just very, very interested as to see what happens after this episode. What's going to happen with Team Arrow? How are they going to continue to do what they do without Oliver? Whatever happened to Roy, what is he going to do? I have two speculations. Either A, he's going to join the Titans, which I really hope happens, or B, he joins Arrow's version of the Outlaws, which would be really fucking badass. But we'll see what happens. Nonetheless, tell me what you think in the comment section below. Speculation over where's Roy, what he's going to do. Secondly, what do you think is going to happen with the rest of Team Arrow? How are they going to continue to do things without Oliver? What are your personal thoughts on Thea? How do you think she's going to go around? Also, let me know what you personally think, what's going to happen with Oliver for the rest of the season. I really don't know. It's hard to say because now he's a part of the League of Assassins. He's official. He's become a part of the League. But how is he going to continue doing Arrow stuff if he's a part of the League? Because, of course, we still have dozens of episodes, and not to mention that another crossover. We have another freaking crossover, so of course we have to have Oliver in his League persona obviously go over to the Flash universe to do stuff with the Flash. So I don't know how things are going to... There's a whole bunch of complications. There's more questions than answers. So I'm very interested, but I'm not overly joyed or hyped for the rest of the season. I'm just very interested to see where these characters go and how it's going to end up for the finale. That's all I can really say. But at the end of the day, I have to give this episode a 6 out of 10. It was a decent episode. Was it better than Broken Arrow? I don't know if I would go that far. But then again, I can't really give it that much heat because, hell, even The Flash hasn't really been doing that well lately as well, which I mentioned in my prior review. But at the end of the day, I think it was decent. It just wasn't amazing, and it wasn't really what I was expecting, and it felt way too much like the Arrow writers were trying to do too much fan service. That's just, it just felt like, at the end of the day, all they really wanted to accomplish was A, make Oliver the new Ra's al Ghul, B, use the Lazarus Pit, C, have all the Olicity fans scream with joy that Felicity and Oliver are going to have sex for the first time. I guess that was pretty much all they really wanted to do. And for me, I could have dealt with something a little bit more as an in-depth, better story than just fan service. That's just me, but let me know what you personally think in the comment section below. I know there's some people who are like, fuck you, you don't know anything. Well, that's why there's a comment section. Nonetheless, let me know what you personally think about everything I've mentioned in this episode. What do you think is going to happen with Thea? Do you think she's crazy now? Or is she going to live the rest of her days having a joyful life with Merlin? What are your personal thoughts with the flashbacks? And that's another thing I forgot to mention, the flashbacks. This is going to be the last time I'm ever going to mention it. I wanted to say that about the Batman stuff, but as much as I hate doing it, I have a little joy inside of me when I do it. So I'm gonna continue doing it, just cause. That's all I really can say. But the flashbacks, this will be the last time I mention it. The flashbacks, I hate. I really can't wait till they stop using the Hong Kong flashbacks. I really disliked this flashback in this episode so much. It's definitely the worst out of every other Hong Kong flashback that we've gotten in the past. Even more than the fucking, from the freaking twins and stupid bastard kids and China White, whatever. All that stupid shit, this tops that one. It was just dumb and unnecessary and just horribly executed. And I really, every single time I watch Arrow and the Hong Kong flashbacks are on screen, a little bit of me kind of dies and wants to cry. I don't, but I want to. I really do, because I really dislike them. So all I can really say is that I hope by the end of the season they stop doing the Hong Kong flashbacks and we can just like either go back to the island or go somewhere cool for once. But nonetheless, let me know what you personally think about that as well in the comment section below. And just let me know what your speculations are for the rest of the season. How do you think Oliver's going to continue living life as... is he going to become the new Ra's al Ghul? Is he going to... go back being the Arrow? Let me know what you personally think in the comment section below. Let me know what you personally thought about my review. And of course, go back to my channel to check out my prior Flash review. Check out my Daredevil Netflix series review. It's a non-spoiler-esque review, so of course, if you've not seen majority of the season on Netflix, definitely check it out, because it doesn't spoil anything for you, so please check out that review. And also check out my Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice official teaser trailer review if you want to see the one true Batman, not the copycat Batman. That's the trailer to watch, and check out my review on that trailer in my channel. Hopefully you do. Hope you guys check it out. Can't wait to see, interested to see, I'm going to rephrase it. I'm very interested to see what happens for the rest of the season, and I can't wait to see what happens on The Flash as well. But let me know what you personally think in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already, and this has been John 12.